I'm aware that I haven't put any posting up on my YouTube diary recently, so I'm just going to have a little look around the farm and try and show you one or two jobs that we've been doing over the winter months. So the major job we've been doing this over winter, over the Christmas period, was we've been doing up one of our farm cottages for one of our farm guys to move into, and we've been putting this wood chip boiler to feed these two semi-detached cottages. And this is the boiler in here, which we've installed. There's the water tank with a boiler next to it. It's got a auger self-feeding system, and so we built this little sort of garden shed type structure next door to the boiler, and that's where the auger goes. But as well as that, of course, we've had to put in a new drive into the cottage as well, so that we can load wood chips into the boiler itself. And so that's what we're doing today, just finishing the drive off. But it's been a good project to get our teeth stuck into anyway. So some of the hedges that we don't cut over the harvest period because they've got hard roads next to them have been cut recently. It's just we save those for this time of the year where we can't get on the land to cut the hedges there. But just looking across, the fields are sort of greening up, but I have to say that even though I drilled a little bit later this year to try and get on top of some of our grass weeds, there are still quite a lot of weeds in there, which kind of presents us with another challenge. But hopefully the triticale that we planted and the oats have got a little bit more sort of a competitive sort of edge to them, so hopefully those fields will try help smother out a few of the weeds. But generally everything doesn't look actually too bad, because although we've had a lot of rain, all our soil was ploughed, and so the water, we've been able to get the water away, so they're not really sitting in waterlogged conditions. It's really just the weeds that I think are going to present the problem. But as you can see in that field there, you should be able to see the rows, but you can't because they're filled in with sort of black grass. But we'll have to wait and see. But one of the other jobs we've been doing is our grain straw, and I'll show you that in a minute. It's a bit windy here, so I hope you can hear, but this looks a bit of a mess. But one of the problems we have with our grain straw is it's really double skinned. So we've got this outer wall here, and then we've got this inner wall. And what's been happening is that grain has been dropping in between the two walls, and of course that then just gives this fantastic runway for rats and mice. So even though this looks a little bit untidy, we've actually taken the outside bottom layer off and then fitted some grids up there to stop birds and rats and mice sort of getting in. It's just that if we leave it like this, this just grain straw just gets infested, and rats and mice, we can't get down here to clean it out without taking the sides off. So I think what we're probably going to do is leave it like this, paint the staunchions of the grain straw black, and make sure that we can get on top of the rats and mice here. This is one of the fields we cultivated in a frost, and we've had one or two dry days, but this heavy clay soil needs to have a lot of drying out before we can start thinking about drilling our spring crops. But really, any time into February, really, we should, if the conditions turn right, this is when we would start thinking about drilling our spring crops. This field isn't too bad for weeds, but on slightly weedier fields, we'd be looking at really cultivating hard to get those weeds out before we'd even think about sowing a spring crop into it. But because this one is pretty weed free, it would probably be one of the first ones we'd sort of start on. But if you look in here, you can see that the soil is still very wet. You can make a ball out of it, and so it's going to take quite a bit of drying out before we can do anything to this. So of course the other thing that happens over the winter is that gradually, as we sell the grain from the grain store, the grain floors begin to empty. We've still got some wheat left to go. We've got some beans behind those two trailers there. That's from this harvest, and we've also still got a few beans from last harvest to go, but there's only about a load down there to go from last harvest, and some more wheat in here. But also the other jobs we've been doing, of course, is to maintain all the machinery. We've been going through all the implements, the ploughs and the cultivators, and putting new wearing parts on them so they're all ready for the spring work. So that's just a little bit of a roundup what we've been doing over the last sort of couple of months, but really looking forward to getting on with some spring sowing.